like a Hellcat.
Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Alex and welcome back to the channel. So we're basically going to be doing a couple of things today. The first one is going to be something that everybody probably does to their car right off the bat, and I've kind of pushed it off to the right, you know, maybe a little bit too long, but now that summertime is coming around, it's definitely something I'm going to take care of today. And it's also something very cost effective, and it's cosmetic as well as functional. So in my opinion, this is arguably going to be one of the best modifications you could do to your car for the summertime. And also, we're going to do a JLT intake update. So yes, if you haven't seen that video before, go check it out and I'll link it above. But essentially I wanted to have my installation video and then come back and do a follow-up after I've, you know, driven with the car, with the intake, you know, a couple hundred miles, so I can give you my honest opinion about the JLT intake. And it's already hot out here, so of course we're getting the windows tinted. So we are over here at A&R Window Tinting, and they are off of Fort Campbell Boulevard. And you're going to want to talk to Tony over here. So he's done, like, I don't know, how many cars of mine have you done? Like 9? We'll see. He's done a lot, and I've had nothing but positive stuff to say about him. So I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else, but just skip everybody and come here. Alright guys, so the window tint is done. We went with a 35% all around with no strip on the front. I've never been about that, you know, some people do it, some people don't, no big deal. This is a premium, like a ceramic, if you will, window tint. It is definitely not bottom of the barrel. So in the bright sunlight, this is what it looks like. I think it looks really, really, really good. And one of the nice things about a top of the line tint is the clarity. So here inside of the car is kind of what it looks like. So you have nothing on the front glass, and when you come over, there is your outward view of the 35% tint. So again, very, very clear. There's no cloudy haze, nothing. So real quick, little recap. I've had the car for roughly about 1,400 miles in the time that I've had it, and other than the backup camera issue, there's been nothing else going on that's been weird. It's been complete joy to have. And this car honestly is such an attention grabber. I have never owned or driven anything else that has grabbed so much attention from just people just driving around. You park it, you know, I'll put it in like the back of, you know, Walmart or something like that, you know, far away from everybody, and then I'll come out and then people are out there taking pictures of the car. It's pretty crazy. There's a bad part about summertime. You wash the car completely, detail it, spend like 6 hours on it, and then within 5 feet of driving this thing on a road, this happens.
Look at all of those bugs. I hate it.
All right, so what we're gonna do first is take a microphone, pretty much just the one that I'm wearing. I'm gonna run it through the engine bay and clip it onto the filter. And we're gonna drive around a little bit and see what kind of noise it makes. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do an in-car, same microphone, just like it's attached to my shirt, and see how it sounds inside of the car. All right, guys, we're back inside of the car. So we're gonna put it in drive. I'm in sport mode, and we're gonna cruise around for just a second. We'll talk about it. So when I first put the intake into the car, the hood was a little hard to close, and you really had to slam it home to get it to, you know, lock in place. And after pretty much 24 hours of just normal driving, guys, that completely went away. It was just the rubber around, you know, the heat shield housing that was real stiff, and then once it got hot, it molded to, and I've had no issues since. So that's actually pretty common with most cold air intakes that run some kind of a rubber trim on the heat shield housing. All right, so it's going to be very hard to probably pick up, but this exhaust is not stock. I did swap out the mid mufflers with the little Dynamax race bullets, and I'll link that video above. So it does give more volume. It's not insanely crazy loud, and oh wow, there's a competition or a Orange Fury Mustang behind me. 2018. That's a really pretty color. Ford did a really good job with the Orange Fury. I think it looks really good. So anyway, back on topic. The exhaust has been modified a little bit, so it is louder, and it is going to kill some of that noise. And I will say that you know, when you're just cruising around, you're not going to hear the intake as much. It almost sounds like it did stock when I had the stock exhaust and I did the intake, and it brought the levels back up. You know, when I did the exhaust before I did the intake, you couldn't hear it at all, not really, unless you're wide open throttle. But at wide open throttle, I will say that this intake does scream. So just cruising around town, I think that with a modified exhaust, it brings it up to slightly higher whine than it would be on a completely stock car with the stock blower whine, if that makes any sense to you at all. Yeah, I definitely came the wrong way. There's nothing but traffic right here. And I'm low on gas, always. This thing, if you stick to the city in a Hellcat, you're gonna get 13 miles to a gallon. It's real bad. But if you're on the highway or if it's mixed, it's actually not that bad. I can, you know, generally get around 17 miles per gallon. And then if it's straight highway, it's far above that. I've actually gotten pretty decent gas mileage. So like I've talked about before, there are different intakes. There's really three big ones. You have the LMI, which is probably the loudest as far as blower whine. I have not yet heard one in person, but would like to. But all the videos that I have watched on YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that, it does scream at you, and almost to the point where I think that, you know, it might be a little bit too much. I don't know. Maybe you guys can comment and let me know. But Then you have the B Woody intake that is beneath that. And let me get turned around here. All right, I can finally get turned around, and traffic was just dumb. So, back on topic, the JLT seems to be the most quiet of the three. Hopefully you can hear all that. So the intake does not, that when I say that it's the most quiet, that doesn't mean that it's quiet, okay? It's definitely still loud, and you're going to hear it all of the time. If you're on a stock exhaust, it's going to be that much more loud, but the car is modified, so this is just a way that I can report this to you. But the biggest thing about JLT is that they have that heat shield. I mean, that heat shield is awesome. You know, the other guys don't have that. And I know that as the air gets pulled into the intake and into the supercharger then cools it down, you know, and that's pretty much the way that it works with the heat exchangers and everything. But I will tell you that through research, some people have reported that like the LMI intakes does translate to higher IATs, okay? Now, with mine, with the JLT, the IATs are pretty much stock. I mean, they're pretty much the same. It doesn't matter. They're going to be, everything's going to be a little higher as you just sit still, but once you're moving, they drop fast. So something else that I really do like is the fact that they've got that clear heat shield, rain guard thing. Not really heat shield, but a rain guard that goes pretty much in tandem with your hood vents. And what that does is it protects, hang on, let me get this pull. Even on drag radials on a hot summer day, it still spins. It's ridiculous. That's pretty crazy. But, so the thing works. It does protect from rain and water getting in, you know, and soaking that filter. I have left it out in some thunderstorms, and I've washed the car multiple times since I've had it on the car, and have forcefully tried to get the filter wet through that little bitty sliver that they left in that clear protector. And I'm happy to report that no water has gotten onto this filter at all. It just doesn't happen. JLT did a really good job with that. All right, guys, so that is pretty much my follow-up for the JLT. Not a whole lot to say other than good things. You know, do I wish it was louder? Yeah, I mean, sure, we all do. But I'm not sure why the others might be loud or not, but it may have something to do with that heat shield. But I don't care. I'd rather have the heat shield, I think. You know, it's just more protection for the air that's coming into the engine, and also, you know, sucking up trash and stuff like that. It's just a good idea to have that. And that's something that JLT is just absolutely great at, is, you know, quality. I mean, everything that they produce is very thought out, and it fits perfectly with no issues. You know, you don't have to fight to get it aligned like some of the other intakes on these Hellcats. The JLT fits right in with ease, and you're done. All right, we're gonna come up here on the highway and do a wide open throttle in-car pull. Oh man, there's so much traffic. Yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, I don't know if you caught that. Probably not. Since I've done this exhaust, I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this. Since I've done the little race bullets in place of the mid mufflers, anytime, it doesn't matter if you're going fast or not, anytime that you are accelerating and then you let off of the accelerator, it backfires at you. Kind of like a little Focus RS or something. It is really, really cool, and it does it a lot. It's definitely not something that you have to sit there and try to force. I mean, it backfires quite often, and it's very old school sounding, and it's very attractive and aggressive. I love it, love it. So that was just kind of an unexpected surprise whenever I did the exhaust stuff. Let's see if I can make it do it. Well, it's definitely doing it. Probably can't hear it with this mic right here on my chest. You probably heard that time. It's nice. I like it. And now we're done for the day because I have no more gas. You got to pay to play, right? All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up this video. I do sincerely hope that you found some value in watching it, and give it a thumbs up. And if you're here for the first time, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really definitely helps me out, lets me know that you guys like this kind of content. You know, I'm a realist and I'm unbiased. You know, I will give you my honest opinion on things. I'm not a fanboy with anything. So that's just kind of the way that I am, and that's the way that this channel translates into. All right, so with that said, guys, I hope that you stay safe on the roads and, don't do illegal things. Take it down to Mexico. And I will see you guys later.